Alright guys, so today is part 3 for our geography vocabulary. Today we have 2 words and both are talking about the oceans. So I need you to title your binder paper Geography Vocabulary Part 3 or your Google Doc, and then we'll get started. So your first word is surround. Surround means to circle something on all sides. So we are talking about the oceans, right? So here's our map. We should have this labeled already, the one you have in Cami, right? We labeled all 7 of our continents. And now we're going to talk about what surrounds them. And what surrounds them are all the oceans, the different oceans that surround these continents on all of its sides. While we learn about the oceans, our second word is going to be trench. And what a trench is, it is a long, narrow, and steep-sided crack that runs along the ocean floor. Okay, so it's super long, it's really narrow. Narrow means it's not very wide, and it's steep-sided, so it's kind of like a hill, like a downward hill, right? And so trenches run alongside the ocean floor all throughout it. So those are the 2 words we're focusing on today. The vocabulary video talks about both of them, so it's important we know what they mean. Right now we're actually going to label the oceans. So you should have your map open on Cami, and you can label it the same way you labeled the continents, okay? So remember, our world map is laid out flat, right? So some things are going to be different. I need to make this a little bigger. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So imagine this globe is flat, okay? We're gonna start with our first ocean, which is, I'm just gonna color it right here. It's the largest ocean. And remember, it's on both sides here because this is like the world flat, right? So when we bring it together, this is the whole ocean, right? But when it's laid flat, it's on the 2 sides. And this ocean is the Pacific Ocean. So go ahead and label that, and this is also the Pacific Ocean. Same ocean, it's just that large that it takes up lots of areas on the earth. Okay, at the top here, and I'm going to try to use different blues and like purples to kind of separate it. At the very top here, right, and it goes down obviously, but at the very top is the Arctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean. So you can go ahead and write that. Okay, we have 3 left. The next one is actually in between all of these continents right here. So all of this, and it kind of meets in. Right, all the oceans actually like kind of run into each other, but where they mainly are is right in here. So we're going to, this one is called, I'm going to draw a little arrow, the Atlantic Ocean. Our next one which is above and closest to Antarctica. Easy way to remember this is it's at the bottom, right? And bottom is usually south. So this is called the Southern Ocean. So far we have 4 oceans. We have one more. No, 2 more. Sorry, we have 2 more. Oh no, we have 1 more. 1 more. Alright, our last one is actually right in between here, between Africa and Australia. Alright, I'm not trying to color the whole earth blue so you guys can see how they're kind of separated, but you guys know the rest of our world is covered in ocean, right? So this last one right here that I just colored is the Indian Ocean. Okay, so we have 5 major oceans. Those are the 5. On your map, I want you to do your best to kind of color it in the best you can. Do not forget that the Pacific Ocean is going to be on both sides of your map, right? Your map is flat, but imagine if you curled that map, that whole side would be the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so that one's really important to remember. Arctic is really up top near the North Pole where it's really, really cold, so that's a good way to remember it. Southern is at the bottom, and then you have the Atlantic and the Indian Ocean. Alright, so you need to make sure you have both vocabulary words, and you need to make sure you have your oceans labeled on your map. And then next, you will go ahead and do the ocean vocabulary, and that'll be it for our lesson. Alright? Yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. Here you go.